The vast chamber of the Galactic Council hummed with tense energy as hundreds of alien representatives gathered for an emergency session. High Counselor Marcus Thompson stood before them, the first human to ever address this august body. His presence was both a courtesy and a formality. The Council had already made their decision regarding humanity's place in the galactic community. Species 7249, designation, humans, announced the Council leader, a tall, crystalline being whose voice resonated through the chamber. Your application for full membership in the Galactic Federation has been denied. Thompson maintained his composure, though his jaw tightened slightly. Behind him, the other human delegates shifted uncomfortably in their seats. The Council leader continued, "Your species is deemed too aggressive, too unpredictable. Your history is marked by constant warfare, and your rapid technological advancement poses a potential threat to galactic stability." What the Council didn't realize was that this moment would mark the beginning of their greatest miscalculation in 10,000 years of governance. In the following weeks, humanity's response surprised everyone. Instead of protests or diplomatic appeals, humans simply withdrew. They pulled their trade ships from alien ports, recalled their diplomatic missions, and sealed their borders. The Council celebrated this as a victory, proof that humans knew their place. They couldn't have been more wrong. Deep within the Sol system, humanity was far from defeated. In secret underground facilities across Earth, Mars, and the lunar colonies, humans had been preparing for this possibility for years. Project Phoenix, as it was called, represented humanity's contingency plan. Admiral James Carter stood in the control room of Ganymede Station, watching as thousands of ships emerged from hidden shipyards throughout the solar system. These weren't the civilian vessels the Council knew about. These were warships, built in secret using reverse-engineered alien technology combined with human innovation. "They think we're primitive," Carter murmured to his second-in-command. "They saw our public face, our peaceful explorers and merchants. They never bothered to look deeper." The truth was, humans had been studying every alien species they encountered, analyzing their weaknesses, understanding their technologies. While presenting a facade of a young, struggling species, humanity had been quietly becoming one of the most formidable forces in the galaxy. The Council's dismissal had simply given them the excuse they needed to reveal their true strength. As the first wave of human ships prepared to depart the solar system, Carter received a message from Earth Command. Operation Awakening was now in effect. Humanity would show the galaxy why Earth's apex predators shouldn't be underestimated. The Council was about to learn that their decision wasn't just a mistake, it was possibly the greatest error in galactic history. Humanity wasn't just another species seeking acceptance, they were the sleeping giants of the galaxy. And now, they were wide awake. The Galactic Council's first warning came not with a bang, but with silence. Their outposts along the Orion Arm went dark one by one. No distress signals, no signs of battle, they simply stopped communicating. "Impossible," muttered Council leader Bright Crystal, studying the star map where dozens of monitoring stations had winked out. "No species could move so quickly without our detection." But humans had spent years studying alien sensor technology. They knew exactly where the blind spots were, exactly how to move without being seen. Their stealth ships, painted with light-absorbing materials and wrapped in gravity-bending fields, slipped through space like ghosts. The first real battle happened at Trading Station 17, a major hub for alien commerce. The station's commander, Officer Blue Scale, was enjoying his morning meal when the sensors finally detected something unusual. By then, it was too late. 20 human warships dropped their stealth fields simultaneously, surrounding the station. Their design was unlike anything the Council had seen before, angular, predatory, with weapons that combined human ingenuity with reversed-engineered alien tech. "This is Admiral Carter of the Earth Fleet," the transmission came through on all channels. "Your station is now under human control. Surrender, and no one will be harmed." The station's defensive systems, considered among the best in the galaxy, didn't even slow the humans down. Earth's ships had been built specifically to counter alien technology, and they did their job perfectly. Within 6 hours, humans controlled the largest trading hub in the sector. But they didn't destroy it. Instead, they began running it more efficiently than the Council ever had. Back on the Council homeworld, panic was spreading. Reports were flooding in from across the galaxy. Human forces had captured key strategic positions with surgical precision. Yet there were no massacres, no wholesale destruction, just swift, calculated takeovers. "We don't understand," one council member admitted during an emergency session. "If they have this kind of power, why didn't they show it before?" The answer came in a transmission from Earth Command, broadcast across all galactic frequencies. The message was simple: the Council rejected humanity because they feared our potential for violence. But they failed to understand that true strength lies not in the ability to destroy, but in the choice to show restraint. Admiral Carter, now overseeing operations from Trading Station 17, watched as more human ships emerged from stealth. Phase 2 was about to begin. They weren't just taking strategic positions, they were establishing a new order. "The Council thought we were primitive because we fought among ourselves," Carter told his crew. "They never realized that those conflicts taught us something valuable: how to end wars without destroying everything in the process." As the second day of human operations came to a close, the galaxy was learning a harsh lesson. Humanity hadn't spent centuries fighting because they were primitive. They'd spent centuries fighting because it taught them how to win. And now, with the element of surprise gone and their true strength revealed, humanity was ready to show the galaxy what Earth's children could really do. The Council had feared their potential for violence; they were about to learn to fear their potential for change instead. The real question wasn't whether humanity would win. The question was what kind of galaxy they would build once victory was achieved. 3 weeks into what the galaxy now called the Human Awakening, the Council finally understood what they were really dealing with. It wasn't just humanity's military might that made them formidable, it was their ability to adapt and improve everything they touched. Every captured station and outpost under human control was running at double efficiency. Trade routes once plagued by pirates were now completely safe. Even alien technologies began working better after human engineers got their hands on them. In the Council's main chamber, now half empty as many representatives had fled, an intelligence officer delivered the devastating report. "Humans didn't just study our weaknesses," he explained, his holographic form flickering. "They studied our strengths, found ways to improve them, and then kept those improvements secret, until now." The proof was everywhere. Human medical teams were curing diseases that had plagued alien species for generations. Their engineers were solving environmental problems on dozens of worlds. They weren't just conquerors, they were becoming the galaxy's problem solvers. Admiral Carter stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching as another alien fleet approached. This one wasn't here to fight. They were defectors, representatives from worlds that had seen what humanity could offer. "Your Council told you we were dangerous," Carter's message broadcast to the incoming ships. They were right. "We're dangerous to corruption, to inefficiency, to suffering. Welcome to the new galaxy." On Earth, the hidden facilities that had housed humanity's secret preparations were now being opened as training centers. Alien visitors watched in awe as humans demonstrated technology centuries ahead of what they had shown the galaxy before. "We could have shared this earlier," explained Dr. Helen Ross, head of Earth's Science Division, to a group of alien scientists. But the Council's attitude made it clear they weren't ready. They would have tried to control these advances, restrict them. "Now, we share them freely with those who choose to work with us." The truth about humanity's preparation became clear. They hadn't just built weapons, they had created solutions for almost every major problem in the galaxy. Solutions they had tested and perfected in secret, waiting for the right moment to reveal them. Back at Trading Station 17, now renamed Hope Point, the first joint human-alien research team made a breakthrough in faster-than-light travel. The alien scientists were shocked to learn that humans had made this discovery years ago but had kept it hidden. "Why hide such advances?" asked one alien researcher. The human team leader smiled. "Because true power isn't in having technology, it's in knowing when and how to use it." As the third month approached, more alien worlds were voluntarily joining what was now called the Human Cooperative. They weren't joining out of fear, but because humanity was offering something the Council never had: real progress, real solutions, and real hope. The Council's worst fear had come true, but not in the way they expected. Humans weren't destroying the galactic order, they were replacing it with something better. Their strength wasn't in their weapons, but in their ability to improve everything they touched. And as news spread of yet another breakthrough, this time in renewable energy technology, even the most stubborn council members began to realize the truth. They hadn't feared humanity's aggression enough, they should have feared their potential to change the galaxy forever. The real revolution wasn't being fought with warships. It was being won with ideas, innovations, and improvements that no one could resist. The Galactic Council was not ready to admit defeat. After months of losing influence and power, they decided to play their final card, one they believed would turn the tide against humanity's rising influence. "Project Ancient Guard is ready," announced the Council leader to the remaining loyal members. Hidden deep in restricted space, they had awakened something that hadn't been seen in the galaxy for millennia: a fleet of automated warships left behind by a long-vanished species. These ships, massive and powerful, represented technology far beyond anything in the known galaxy. The Council had known about them for centuries but had never dared to activate them. Now, desperation drove them to take this risk. Admiral Carter received the warning from Earth's deep space sensors. "Multiple objects emerging from the restricted zone," his officer reported. "Energy readings are off the charts." The ancient fleet emerged from hyperspace near Hope Point Station, their metal hulls gleaming with strange symbols. Each ship was the size of a small moon, bristling with weapons that could shatter planets. The Council's message was broadcast across all frequencies: "Surrender now, humans. Not even your advanced technology can stand against the Ancient Guard." But instead of fear, the Human Command Center erupted in laughter. Admiral Carter's response shocked everyone: "We were wondering when you'd try to use those. Thank you for saving us the trouble of finding them ourselves." What happened next demonstrated just how thoroughly humanity had prepared. From hidden positions around Hope Point, special human ships emerged. They didn't fire weapons, instead, they transmitted complex code sequences. The Ancient Guard ship stopped dead in space. Then, to the Council's horror, they began responding to human commands. "Did you really think," Carter's voice came again, thick with amusement, "that in all our years of preparation, we wouldn't have discovered and decoded the control systems for these ships? We found them 5 years ago. We just didn't want to tip our hand too early." Dr. Ross, speaking from Earth Command, explained to the stunned alien observers, the Ancient Guard wasn't just a weapons system. It was a test left behind by the precursors. Only a species with the right combination of technological skill and ethical restraint would be able to both control and properly use these ships. The Council had failed that test spectacularly. By trying to use the ships as weapons, they had proven themselves unworthy of the power they sought to control. Under human command, the Ancient Guard ships took up defensive positions around key systems. But they didn't fire a single shot. Instead, their vast computing systems began integrating with human networks, sharing knowledge that had been locked away for millennia. The Ancient Guard wasn't meant to destroy, Dr. Ross continued. It was meant to protect and serve whoever proved worthy of its trust. The Council never understood that power isn't about destruction, it's about responsibility. As news of this development spread across the galaxy, the Council's remaining support crumbled. They had played their last card and lost spectacularly. Worse, they had helped humanity demonstrate yet again why they were more suitable leaders for the galaxy. Admiral Carter stood on Hope Point's observation deck, watching the massive ancient ships now peacefully patrolling alongside human vessels. "Send a message to the Council," he ordered. "Tell them we're willing to discuss terms for their peaceful integration into the new galactic order." The galaxy was learning that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their weapons or their technology. It was their ability to understand and master the responsibilities that came with power. The fall of the Galactic Council happened not with violence, but with a simple vote. Representatives from thousands of worlds gathered at Hope Point Station to witness the historic moment. After seeing humanity master the ancient guard and handle power with wisdom, the galaxy was ready for change. Admiral Carter stood before the assembled representatives, his voice carrying across the vast chamber. "We didn't come here to rule the galaxy. We came to help it grow." Behind him, holographic displays showed the incredible achievements of the past few months: restored ecosystems, cured diseases, and technological advances that had improved billions of lives. But humanity's greatest test was yet to come. Deep in unexplored space, something stirred. The long-range sensors of the ancient guard ships detected a threat that even their original creators had feared: the Void Swarm, a massive collection of spaceborne creatures that consumed everything in their path. "This is why the precursors left the ancient guard," Dr. Ross explained to the Emergency Council. "They knew the swarm would return eventually. They wanted to make sure someone would be ready." The Void Swarm moved like a dark cloud through space, destroying entire star systems. Previous civilizations had tried to fight it with pure force and failed. But humanity had a different approach. "We don't need to destroy them," Admiral Carter announced to his fleet. "We need to understand them." This was humanity's specialty, not just fighting, but finding unexpected solutions to impossible problems. Research teams worked around the clock, studying the swarm's behavior patterns. They discovered something remarkable: the creatures weren't naturally aggressive. They were running from something, consuming resources in their panic to escape. Human scientists, working alongside alien experts, made another breakthrough. Using modified ancient guard technology, they found a way to communicate with the swarm. The creatures were fleeing from a collapse in their home dimension, blindly consuming everything in their path to survive. "They're not our enemy," Dr. Ross reported. "They're refugees, just like so many species we've helped before." Humanity's solution shocked everyone. Instead of building weapons to destroy the swarm, they proposed using the ancient guard ships to open a stable portal to a nearby uninhabited dimension, a new home for the swarm where they wouldn't need to consume inhabited worlds. The operation was massive, requiring the coordination of the entire human fleet and all ancient guard ships. As the swarm approached populated space, humanity prepared for their greatest challenge yet. "This is what sets us apart," Admiral Carter told the gathered fleet commanders. "Not our ability to destroy threats, but our ability to turn enemies into allies." The plan worked. The portal opened, providing the swarm with exactly what they needed: a safe haven. The massive creatures, each the size of a continent, changed course. One by one, they entered the portal, their destructive rampage finally ending. When it was over, the galaxy understood something fundamental about humanity. They weren't just powerful, they were wise. They had faced a threat that previous civilizations could only combat with violence, and they had solved it with intelligence and compassion. "The Council feared us because they thought power could only be used for dominance," Carter reflected, watching the last of the swarm disappear through the portal. "They never understood that true power lies in knowing when not to use force." The galaxy was changing. The old council chamber was being transformed into a center for galactic cooperation. Species that had once feared or distrusted each other were working together, learning from humanity's example. The humans had proven themselves to be not just capable leaders, but teachers, showing the galaxy a better way forward. They had taken the Council's greatest fear, humanity's potential, and turned it into the galaxy's greatest hope. 1 year after humanity's rise to leadership, the galaxy faced an unexpected challenge. The ancient guard ships began displaying strange symbols across their hulls, a countdown. The precursors had left one final test for those who would guide the galaxy's future. "It's not just a test," Dr. Ross announced to the emergency meeting at Hope Point. "It's an invitation." The symbols, once decoded, revealed coordinates to a hidden precursor installation at the galaxy's core, a place no ship had ever reached due to the intense gravitational forces. Admiral Carter stood on his flagship's bridge, studying the holographic display of the galactic core. "The precursors didn't just leave us their ships," he said. "They left us their legacy. But first, we have to prove we're ready for it." The journey would be impossible for normal ships. Even the ancient guard vessels couldn't withstand the core's gravity. But humanity had been preparing for challenges like this. Their engineers revealed their latest creation, a ship that could ride gravitational waves like a surfer rides ocean waves. "The precursors will judge not just our technology," Dr. Ross explained to the gathered alien representatives. "They'll judge how we've used what they left us. How we've led the galaxy." The mission was designated Legacy 1. The ship, named Star Rider, carried a crew of both humans and aliens, a testament to the unity humanity had fostered. As they approached the galactic core, the true magnitude of the precursors' achievement became clear. Hidden within the swirling energies of the core was an artificial structure larger than a solar system. The ancient guard ships arranged themselves around it, their symbols changing to form a message: "Welcome, children of Earth. You have proven yourselves worthy to receive our inheritance." Inside the structure, the crew found something extraordinary, a repository of knowledge and technology beyond imagination. But more importantly, they found a message from the precursors themselves. "We chose to fade away," the message read, "because we believed the galaxy needed new guardians, ones who could learn from our mistakes. We watched countless species rise and fall. The Council showed promise but became stagnant. Then we found humanity." The message continued: "You didn't just master our technology, you improved it. You didn't just fight threats, you understood them. You didn't seek to rule, you sought to unite. This was what we were waiting for." The precursor facility wasn't just a library, it was a key to unlock the next stage of galactic evolution. With its knowledge, humanity could guide the galaxy's species to achievements the precursors themselves had only dreamed of. Admiral Carter addressed the galaxy from the facility: "This isn't just humanity's inheritance. This belongs to all of us. The precursors chose us not to rule, but to guide. To help every species reach their full potential." As the Star Rider began its journey home, the ancient guard ships revealed their final purpose. They weren't just warships or test markers, they were seeds. Each one could become the core of a new galactic hub, spreading knowledge and prosperity across the stars. The former Council members, watching these events unfold, finally understood their mistake. They had feared humanity would become too powerful, never realizing that true power wasn't about control, it was about elevation. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't in rising above others, but in lifting everyone up with them. 5 years after discovering the precursor facility, the galaxy had transformed beyond recognition. The ancient guard ships, now transformed into centers of learning and growth, formed a network that connected every corner of known space. But humanity's greatest achievement wasn't in the technology they shared, it was in what they taught the galaxy about power itself. Admiral Carter, now aged but still sharp, stood in the newly constructed Galaxy Hall on Earth. Representatives from every known species gathered here, not as subjects, but as equals. The former Council leader, who had once rejected humanity, sat among them, humbled but welcomed. Looking back, Carter addressed the assembly: "The Council's greatest mistake wasn't in underestimating our military strength or our technology. It was in misunderstanding what true power really means. The evidence of this truth was everywhere. Worlds that had once been enemies now worked together on massive projects. Species that had been on the brink of extinction were thriving. The galaxy wasn't just surviving, it was flourishing in ways the old council had never imagined possible. Dr. Ross, her hair now streaked with gray, presented the latest breakthrough, a way to restore dead worlds to life using a combination of precursor knowledge and human innovation. This is what we mean by power, she explained. Not the ability to destroy, but the ability to create, to heal, to grow. The former council leader stood to speak, something that would have been unthinkable years ago. We feared humanity would become the apex predators of the galaxy, he admitted. Instead, they became its gardeners, its teachers, its healers. In deep space, the Star Rider made another historic discovery, signs of emerging civilizations in neighboring galaxies. The old council would have seen them as potential threats or subjects. Humanity saw them as future friends, future students, future partners in the grand dance of cosmic civilization. Send them a message, Carter commanded. Tell them they're not alone. Tell them they're welcome to join us when they're ready. The precursor facility at the Galactic core had changed too. It was no longer just a repository of knowledge, it had become a university where species from across the galaxy came to learn, to share, to grow together. The ancient guard ships, once feared as weapons, now served as transports for students and researchers. The Council feared we would become the apex predators of the galaxy, Carter reflected in his personal log. They never understood that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in our teeth or claws, our ships or our weapons. It was in our ability to turn competitors into collaborators, enemies into friends, and fear into hope. The galaxy had learned the truth about power, that the greatest power wasn't in what you could take or destroy, but in what you could give and create. Humanity hadn't just changed the galaxy's political structure, they had changed its very understanding of strength and leadership. In the end, the old council's fear of humanity's power had become a self-fulfilling prophecy, but not in the way they expected. Humans had indeed become the most influential species in the galaxy, not through conquest or dominance, but through teaching, healing, and uniting. As the assembly in Galaxy Hall concluded, Carter looked out at the faces of 100 different species, all working together, all growing together. The council was right about one thing, he said quietly. We were dangerous, dangerous to ignorance, to fear, to the very idea that power must always corrupt. And that was the greatest power of all. The galaxy had learned its lesson. The next time a young species arose among the stars, they wouldn't greet them with fear and rejection. They would greet them with hope and welcome, remembering how humanity had shown them a better way. For in the end, the true apex predators weren't those who could destroy the most, but those who could create the most, heal the most, and bring out the best in others.